Welcome back to another episode of the Bro Monroe Show, hosted by El Paso's funniest bros. Please enjoy and don't be a weenie.
Oh, it tastes like. I feel like it tastes like oil of some sort, like a motor oil afterwards.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It smells like
Okay.
it smells like oil like that when you.
It's really bad. Let's take another one.
You know what? All I have to say is AI robot is really going to enjoy making out with you because you smell like lubricant.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And with that, we're at episode 104. My name is Ray Ruckus, Ray Zombie, a.k.a. Thotty Pippin, a.k.a. Too Many Nicknames. Good morning, Sunday.
I'm Milo.
Just Milo today.
Just Milo today.
John Bugatti Maserati, our boy El Gordo Ramsey. That's it. That's it. Yeah,
That's it.
We have a very special guest. I know he's a legend in the game, you could say. A lot of people, I'd say more millennials, right? Probably know you.
Yeah.
A lot of millennials know who you are. If you want to just introduce yourself, take it away.
All right. I am Mark Kid Wok Britten, 7 voices on the cartoon Dragon Ball Z, and stand-up comedian since 1987. I was doing stand-up before I was doing voices for cartoons. So, and I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Nice. Heck yeah. Cool.
Beautiful.
For some reason, I thought you were from LA. Just typical. I just thought you were from LA.
Oh.
For some reason.
I used to live in LA for a year and a half, I think.
Oh, okay.
I lived there with Pablo Francisco.
Oh, very nice, man. That's cool.
I got Pablo started in stand-up comedy.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Holy shit.
1990, bro. That's
Yes.
awesome. Okay.
I met Pablo at a one-nighter in Sierra Vista. It's in Arizona? Is that new? Yeah,
I think it's
Sierra Vista.
Yeah,
Yeah, Sierra Vista, Arizona, because he's from Tucson. So he was doing that one-nighter with me, and I saw him that first night, and I said, hey, what are you doing? Do you do this full-time? Because I was doing it full-time at that time. I was only 20, 21, I think.
Yeah.
So I said, you doing this full-time? He said, no. He goes, I'm working at, what was it? Domino's Pizza.
Oh, snap. Okay.
He was delivering pizzas at Domino's Pizza.
Nice.
And I said, hey, man, you need to think about doing this, for real. And he was like, what? I wouldn't know how to start. So I said, I'm going to get you some work. So I called this lady. He said, hey, you hire me. If you hire this guy and he fails, you never have to hire me again. I said, I'm going to put my whole, she goes, you're willing to do that? I go, yes. So I will put my whole bookings with you on the line. And I sent him out. I got him 6 weeks of work at $700 a week.
Nice.
Back then,
nice.
that was a lot of money.
Definitely in the 90s.
I mean, and he was just opening. That's how much comedy paid at the beginning. I mean, during the heyday of comedy, the opener got like 700. Now everything's even less than half of what it was back then.
Really?
Yeah. And we'll get to that in a second. But I told Pablo, I said, hey. He's like, I don't have any way to get to these gigs, and I already booked him. And I'm like, why? He goes, I don't have the money for gas and stuff. Here's my Texaco credit card. Texaco.
Nice.
I mean, I don't even know they make Texaco credit cards anymore.
I don't think so. I don't even think they exist, do they?
I don't
The
know.
Texas?
You're right. I
haven't seen one in a
Yeah, you're right. I haven't seen one in a while.
It's in a while.
Wow. So that's when they had credit card. Yeah, I get. So it's like giving him a Mervin's card. Here's a Mervin's card. Go get you some clothes.
Hell yeah.
All right. No, but that's how long ago that was. And then he went across and the lady called me up and was like, you were correct about this guy. This guy is amazing. And she was like, oh my gosh. And we have the same style of act as well. So that's why we really get along.
That's cool. Awesome. That's cool that you guys gel like that and you help them, get a start. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's very rare. I mean, I feel like people in general don't like to give other people a start like on some hating stuff. You know what I mean? Like on some hater stuff. Right?
Yeah. I saw a weird documentary or a weird podcast on a guy talking about that the other day, how television switched and it kind of switched the mindset of everybody out there. The mindset was before 97, before the 2000s, before 2007, the mindset was you had a hero when they were doing right, and right always prevailed, right always won. And then they started coming out with reality shows, and all the reality shows, everybody started watching them, and that was win at any cost. Step on everybody, do whatever you have to, American Idol, all of these get to the top and push everybody out of the way. So that mentality, that whole generation grew up with that. So it was probably that. It's probably that way now. It wasn't whenever I was starting out and whenever I was younger. I've always helped everybody, as many people as I lives as I can touch.
Definitely.
It doesn't. Yeah. The
That's
spotlight.
awesome.
The spotlight opens up. A lot of comics don't think that the spotlight. They think, hey, I got to push you out of the spotlight so I can get in. But there's a dude back there with a lever that can widen the spotlight, and everybody can fit in it.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it, man. That's cool. That's
really
really
good.
good. Yeah.
I always thought that maybe that there's a lot of people who feel there's a finite amount of success.
Yes.
And so they need to push somebody out of the way in order to get theirs. But I love the way you put it. Just widen the spotlight for everybody.
Like they always say, "Hay pa todos." I don't know if you know Spanish, but it's a saying like in Spanish saying there's plenty for everybody.
There's plenty for everyone.
That's what it goes by.
What's the phrase?
Hay pa todos. Hay para todos.
That's a short phrase to say there's plenty for everybody.
Hay pa todos. Yeah, hay pa todos.
That's an easy bumper sticker right there. I mean,
It
come
is.
on. I
It
mean,
is a good one. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good bumper sticker.
You know?
But it is a very cutthroat doggy dog world. I feel like, especially in the entertainment business. You know, like
Nowadays, yes, I hear that more and more nowadays. Like I said, back then, we were all kind of just sharing with each other to see if we could expand. Because when I told you about the pay as far as stand-up goes, back when I started in 87, there were probably, throughout the U.S., 50 states, probably 150 comedy clubs that just sprouted up everywhere. But there were only like 3,000 comics total in the U.S. or in the world.
Wow.
Now there's about 15,000, 20,000 people who call themselves comedians, and there's less clubs than there were back then. So now you got to think.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why pay dropped. That's why club owners don't. They book. Yeah, it's horrible. Now clubs are only doing Fridays, Saturdays. Okay, Bart here in El Paso does Thursday through Sunday, which that's unheard of. There's no club that I know of in the U.S. right now doing that. Ever since COVID, they've all gone from Friday to Saturday. So back when I toured, it was Tuesday through Sunday.
That's insane.
You would have a full week.
Oh,
of
wow.
comedy. Yes.
Oh, yeah, your Monday through Friday type almost.
And then I could book Omaha, Nebraska, and then the next week I could book Des Moines because I only had one day off in between. Now that it's Fridays and Saturdays, I don't know how comics are doing it because now you have to be booked Friday, Saturday. Now you got to find somewhere to stay Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you could do another Friday, Saturday at another city. It doesn't work. You can't route anymore.
Wow.
So the whole game has changed.
That's insane. I never knew that. Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, so how would that work logistically? Like,
And I heard you was wanting to do some stand up.
Oh snap! Did Punchy tell you that? Fucking Punchy, bro. Yeah. So yesterday I was with my girl at the 7:30 show yesterday. Shout out to KidWok over here for hooking us up.
Yeah.
So we go and I see Punchy and Anthony Austin Brown, who just taped his special a couple weeks ago. I saw them and I was like, I'm gonna go say what's up to them. So I go beeline to them. And, we're just shooting the shit. And then Punchy just looks at me. He's like, bro, when are you going to do your 5 minutes? I was like, what? He's like, when are you doing your 5 minutes? I was like, well, I did like 2 minutes a couple weeks ago, but that was like my first time ever. Like, I'm good, He's like, I could see it in you. I could see it in him. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, I know you want to do this shit. I know you want to do 5 minutes. He's out. But the funniest thing is he goes like this. He stands up. He's all, dude, you're going to feel this shit right here. You're going to fucking go like this. You're going to just love it. And I was like, what the hell? Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, you're just going to fall in love with the stand-up, with everything. And I was like, fuck. So, I mean, I'm working towards it, but they offered, to help me write some jokes, him and Anthony. So I'm gracious for that. But yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see. I like I said, I did my first hosting gig last month at my job at the brewery. I had 2 minutes just hosting and just had the guys on there and did my thing.
Which brewery?
It was called Blazing Tree. Just closed. We had a farewell show this earlier this month. So,
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where we're at, and had the whole lineup. So it was good. It was good stuff.
Well, that rocks, man.
Yeah, I got the support. I got the support.
Yeah, you have people that are willing to help you in it. And
Yeah,
that's key. I judge the World Series of Comedy. I've judged it for the last 3 years, and it happens in Vegas, and it's like 100 comics that have come to Vegas to try to compete for the top 3 spots, but they did a satellite shows throughout the U.S., so there's like 700 different comics that are competing that are whittled down to 100 that get to Vegas that finally are judged by club owners, casino people, the people bookers, all these bookers, and then comedians as well.
That's cool.
So I've become the one who does that. So I give a lot of advice.
Okay. That's awesome.
I watch the sets. I can talk comedy all day long. Comedy has been in my blood since 87.
Cool.
I did Dragon Ball Z 13 years after doing stand-up.
Wow.
You know, so I was already a seasoned stand-up. I was headlining at the Improvs throughout the U.S. already, and then Dragon Ball Z audition came about, and it was just an open audition. So that type of fame feels weird to me. People treating me like, "Oh man, you're famous," and it's like, well, I just went and read some lines back then. It didn't really mean anything to me. In fact, it was kind of a throwaway. They paid $50 an hour back then. That was it.
Oh wow.
No royalties.
Really?
Yeah,
No royalties at all?
No.
Oh,
that's
wow.
why you see me touring Comic-Cons throughout the U.S. in that celebrity petting zoo area.
The celebrity petting zoo. Is that how it feels like when you're at those conventions? You feel like you're like an exhibit, I guess.
Like
an
it
animal
does.
like
You
that,
feel like
yeah?
you're trapped.
Really?
Even if you're trying to post, I see people trying to post and it looks rude.
Yeah.
It just looks like, hey, I'm not paying attention to anybody else around me, but I'm here in my booth just doing this. You know what I mean? So it's kind of you just have to it's a 8-hour people watching fest for 3 days in a row. I got one coming up here in Las Vegas. As soon as I leave here, I have 1 day off and then I fly back out to Las Vegas, and it's a DBZ con with 11 other voice actors
Oh, nice.
from Dragon Ball Z.
That's
I've only met like 4 of them.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I think. Yeah. And we worked together on the show.
That's wild. I was about to
That's
say, like,
wild,
you guys
yeah.
work together and you guys have only met a couple times. I guess that's what the whole voiceover stuff is, right?
well, we met in passing. Remember, I Dragon Ball Z was done in Japanese, so it has to be dubbed over. In order to dub something over, you can't just sit around a table and chat or read a script because the mouth movements won't match. So you have to get each person in there one by one to read one line at a time to see if the mouth movements match. You have a guy on a computer sliding it left, sliding it right to try to match those mouth movements, and then you get to move on to the next line. Sometimes you're in the booth for like 2 to 3 minutes, just sitting there waiting for them to line up the...
So when you're doing that, like, they don't edit the cartoon stays as is, and you just have to like make
Yes.
sure. Oh wow.
So it's backwards.
That's crazy. It's like almost doing double work, almost, right? I mean, you could say.
Yeah, but it's no, because the cartoon animation, I think, is what the most expensive part of it is.
Okay.
So, but this, like I said, The Simpsons, they just sit around the table and they do their dialogue all read at once.
That is
Yeah.
true. Wow, I
I
never
thought about that.
Never thought about that because I mean I've never known anybody that's worked in it like that.
Okay, so I might have met some of these voice actors as I'm coming out of the studio from doing my voiceover work. I might be like, hey, what's your name, Ray? And hey, nice to meet you. So where do you live? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, hey, Ray, we're ready for you in the booth. All right, man. Hey, well,
Oh, just like that, like
Oh,
a
okay,
quick
okay,
thing.
okay.
so we'll see you next time. Sean Schemmel, yeah, Goku. I've met him several times because he had most of the work. So we would all be coming out of the booth and he'd be ready to be coming in.
Wow.
Yeah, but
That's
we didn't
insane.
have a relationship. There was no, hey, let's
Like
hang
not
out.
buddies, nothing like that. Like we're
No,
not-
I mean we have a 5-minute conversation and then
There was no office
the rest-
Christmas party or anything like that? Or?
There was office parties like that, but we don't. It's like not knowing everybody at the office party because I never really met you except for 2 minutes earlier,
that's true.
or most of us we didn't ever meet. So I just and it's neat to a lot of them are very good people. It's neat to see that a lot of them stayed with it. If I would have stayed with it, I'd be a millionaire right now.
really.
Yeah, those people are making bank at the Comic-Cons. Some of them upwards of 25,000, 50,000 on a weekend just to
way.
go out and
Jesus.
sign autographs.
Jesus.
Okay,
And,
you
and
think
is
about
it,
it.
is it mainly just like pictures, or is it just like appearance fees, or what is it?
Okay, yeah. Well, photos normally run anywhere from $50, all the way from. Well, I don't charge for photos because I'm not much for if you purchase anything on my table. But everybody else, they normally charge like $50, $40, all the way up to like $150 for Shatner, or $300 a photo for Michael J. Fox.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I did see some of the guys that were on Sons of Anarchy were here at the El Paso Comic Con. I think it was the last year or this year, and I think they were charging about $400, but it was like for all of them, but it was like 4 or 5 heads. So I was looking at their individual prices, and they're about like you were saying about $200 or so.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool that you don't charge for pictures.
Well, so you got to think about this. These people that are getting the $40, $50, the movie stars or whatever, could you have 1,000 people going through at $40? Yeah, you do. That's $40,000.
Yeah, for sure. Damn, that never thought of that. Have you ever been to an El Paso Comic Con?
Yes.
Okay.
I did the best I've ever done at any Comic Con here at El Paso. In fact, the El Paso Comic Con.
Okay.
They're big Dragon Ball Z fans. I didn't realize that how huge of Dragon Ball Z fans.
Yeah, it's
a lot of
massive,
them
man.
listen to the Spanish version though.
Yes, they do.
So when I got a chance to work with Mario Castañeda, who is the voice of Goku for the Spanish version.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I got to meet him and Rene Garcia, who he's the Vegeta.
Oh, okay. So there's some big names right there.
For, in the Spanish version, I think,
sure.
I don't know. They're just people to me. I meet them. Like I said, I don't understand the fame that's associated with it. Never did I think, oh, a new generation will be coming up and will be like, man, I liked your work. I didn't. Huh?
That would never cross your mind.
No.
It just work.
No, yeah, it was just work. You know, kids were, he was 5 and my other son was 4 at the time. So they were not really into Dragon Ball Z as much. They were more into your regular standard cartoons. I think he liked Scooby-Doo and Tom and Jerry.
Okay.
And you know, I like that.
Simpsons,
I grew up
maybe.
on that too. Yeah, I didn't understand Dragon Ball Z when I would watch it. Even when we were dubbing it, I was looking at it going, huh? All right. Whatever.
What's going on?
This looks like Speed Racer.
So how did
exactly
how did
what it
that come across? Like how? So you said you were doing stand up for about 13 years, and then it was an open audition. You saw it like where?
It was an
your
ad.
agent or
Okay, have you seen, what are the ones that they have here at the bars, those newspaper magazines that show where everybody
like the thrifty nickel? That's what they call them. The
no,
thrifty nickel.
no. The one that shows where everybody's playing in town. What's
Oh,
happening
yeah.
in town.
What is it called? What's Up Magazine or something?
What's
like
up,
that?
magazine?
Yeah,
What's up weekly?
Yes, What's Up Weekly.
What's up? Yeah.
So at the back of those, usually they have all of the psychic stuff and they have a small
little
little
ads,
ad.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. It was one of those.
Oh snap! What did it say? Do you remember? Like it just said
No,
voiceover act
because
needed?
a comedian who worked at the comedy club in Fort Worth said, "Hey, man, they're having an audition." In fact, the comedian that introduced me to Pablo,
Wow,
who moved to Dallas, and he was the one who, I know the connection's weird when I just
world.
think about it. Yeah. He said, "Hey, they're having an audition for a cartoon." And I thought you might want to, since you do voices and stuff. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll go. Because I was going through a divorce at the time. So I was living with my parents.
Okay.
And I was going through a divorce. Just got kicked out of the house. And it was like, okay, so I'll just take whatever. So I went there and I said, hey, I don't know what you guys are looking for. I do stand-up and I do impressions. And they're like, "Oh, you do impressions?" It was Chris Sabat. He's got a deep voice. His voice is normally just like this. It sounds like he has a third testicle. You know what I mean, when you listen to him, and he's done over like 600 voices. He's the voice of Vegeta and Piccolo.
how do you do 600 voices? That's insane.
Well, his was a weird thing because I don't really think he was a voice guy to begin with. I think he just had that voice, and he had worked with them on the Chuck E. Cheese videos because Funimation was producing all of those, and then Funimation was helping produce all of the Barney videos. Little known fact: are you familiar with Dragon Ball Z? Are you?
I wasn't. I was gonna get into my
okay.
story about that, but yeah, I'm not a big old fan.
Okay,
of
cool.
'Cause I don't know anything about that.
You don't look like a Dragon Ball Z fan either. So
I
that's
think
what
I think we're a little bit older for that.
Okay, how old are you?
Well, I'm 35. He's just
I'm 39.
But it was kind of like weird.
No. Because I'd have been 25 years ago. So you said you're 35?
Yeah.
Okay, so that you'd have been 10.
Yeah, you would have been 10.
Okay.
I would have been
But
I'm
25
terrible
years
at
ago.
Yeah, I'll
15.
I'll explain my Dragon Ball connection right now. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
no, dude, keep going. My bad.
Yeah, no. So he said, hey, go try out for that. And I went in and they said, you do voices? And I said, he was like, well, what impressions do you do? I said, I got a Samuel L. Jackson. He goes, well, let me hear that. And I said, I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. Oh, you were saying? Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like. You know what I mean? And he was like, that was pretty good. And I said, he goes, what else you got? I said, I have Ozzy Osbourne, you know, and so I do Ozzy's voice. And Sharon, who the fuck are these people? And then, I mean, we got a fucking desk kid. I don't even know what the fuck's going on. What happened?
Hell yeah.
So they were pretty impressed with that. They sent me home with a VHS tape of the voice actors from Canada, because what happened was Canada was paying royalties and they were having to pay union. And the show started in Canada. So Dragon Ball Z, the first 70 episodes were in Canada.
Okay.
And then they moved their studios to Texas because it's a right to work state. And they paid everybody $50 an hour, $35 an hour.
Good Lord.
What part of Texas do you know?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, Fort Worth.
It's
That was
Fort
Fort Worth area. It was in Fort Worth
okay.
originally. Now it's in Las Colinas. 95% of animes in the U.S. that are English dubbed are done in Texas.
I had no idea.
wow.
Yeah.
That's right outside. Yeah, outside of Fort Worth, Dallas area. Wow, that's crazy, insane.
Yes, but I would say about 80% are of the ones that are 95%. 80% are probably done in Las Colinas, and then the other 20% is most likely done in Houston at Sentai Studios. So they have Crunchyroll and Sentai Studios. When I started out, Funimation had 2 studios, and it was in an office building and a bank building. So you'd go up to the 5th floor, and then you'd be like, "Hey, I'm here for my stuff. Oh, this is the promotions room, and this is the where we do okay, sorry. It's 2 doors down at the other office suite." So they were separate office suites. On 2 of the office suites were studios, and then the rest were like offices. So like you might enter in and they'd be like, "Oh no, these are the cubicles." And then you go to the next one and they're like, "No, here's where we store all the DVDs and this is the shipping." Okay, sorry. So, but now they have 18 studios.
Oh, dang.
Running from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Wow, that's great.
But at the time, Christopher Sabat, the guy who just does 600 Voices, was the main guy that was working there. That was the talent coordinator and all of that. So whenever they didn't have anybody to do the voice, and we got to get this anime out, we need some, Chris, get in there and figure out a voice. So that's how he became a voice actor. And that's why he started doing 600 Voices, was because he was the one available. But it turned into such a lucrative career. I mean, 30 to 60,000 a weekend now signing autographs.
That's wild. That's wild to think about.
I never thought about that, how lucrative it is for the photos and the, and the autographs.
Yeah.
They
didn't have that whenever we started out in Dragon Ball Z. There weren't people touring around doing Comic-Cons. Comic-Cons didn't exist. They did, but the San Diego Comic-Con, that was probably the only one.
I was going to say San Diego was probably the only one.
Yeah, but aside from that, there weren't many people that toured it. Now everybody's hip to it. I mean, every single star is trying to get on these now. Really? So now it's becoming like the comedy clubs. There's more people that want to get in than there are shows.
Okay.
There's space for them.
So I found out I do really well at shows where I'm either the only voice actor or I'm the only Dragon Ball Z voice actor, because if there's more than one, they bring a limited budget. So now they're spreading it amongst 3 voice actors, or maybe they only have enough for 1.
Yeah.
You know, man, I wish I'll get yours next time, they can say as they walk by the table.
Okay.
know?
So it's best just for you to be the only one.
Was it? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's how. So I do better at like 5,000 to 20,000 attendance.
Okay.
You know, whereas like I was just at one in Rhode Island, and that one was 160,000 attendees. Yeah, for the weekend.
That's crazy.
They had 150 celebrities, over 150 celebrities booked at that thing, including Michael J. Fox. Wow. And I can't even fathom the logistics involved in trying to put all of these celebrities up in a hotel with each of their handlers.
Oh, that's true.
And you're flying them in from wherever they want, whatever class they want. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
to think that they have people that handle that throughout I have a security badge with them because I was working with them the last 5 years, and I was doing emceeing for a lot of their Comic-Cons. And so I would have a security badge. I got to see everything backstage, all of this. I could go places that the celebrities couldn't go. So,
That's cool.
it was weird because I'd be walking with a couple celebrities, and I'm like, yeah, we just got to go this way. And I said, this is a shortcut. Come this way. And they're like, hey, you guys can't get back here. And I was like, shoot, I didn't know this. I had this badge. Oh, okay, yeah, you can come back here. Are they with you? Yeah, they can come back too.
Nice.
That's cool.
That's cool. That's cool. That feels cool. I experienced that one time. We had all access artist stage, access or whatever for Music Fest out here. So we legit were like with the catering, with everything, and we're just nobody's like just drivers. We're just driving,
funny.
and they gave us all access. And we're like, what the hell? Free food, free drinks, unlimited. You know, an IV thing, a drip so you don't get hung over and stuff. It worked, so it was great. It was all free. So like what the hell? Why not?
But y'all were volunteers, weren't you?
Yeah, we were. Okay. No. We got paid.
Oh, you guys got paid?
Yeah, we got paid for that. Yeah. It was that's the craziest thing. We got paid plus we got that
Oh, wow, that's cool.
That pass. So that was pretty cool. It's called a Neon Desert. I don't know if it's coming back, but
I don't know
hopefully it does. I was gonna ask you, would you be open to doing another El Paso Comic Con if they invited you out here?
I'm doing Las Cruces Comic Con in August already.
Okay.
I know Troy, the owner of the Comic Con. He's very, very cool dude.
Nice.
Was giving away some tickets for my comedy show. He's a fan of my comedy. He's a great dude. So he invites me, and usually we do every other year because normally you have to give it a chance to build up a different audience because usually you have a lot of repeat people to Comic Cons.
Okay.
They go to it like Disney, like
that's
their
true,
once in a life because it's like a Disney experience to them because you get to see all these characters dressed up. You know, I mean.
I've always wanted to go to San Diego Comic Con, but I hear there's like a process now, like it's like kind of like a lottery system for you to be in or something like that. It's like a difficult thing.
What capacity are you looking to go?
I just want to be a spectator. Just want to go as a fan, I guess.
Oh, I didn't know if there was a limited fan attendee lottery.
I think there is. There's something like that now where I was looking into my friend because he's been going for like the last 5 years. He said that it's hard for people like new people to get in somehow. He was trying to explain to me, but I was like, dude, this is fucking crazy. Like, I just want to go see people. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Wow. I know that they have over 250,000 people that attend that.
Wow.
And the process is different for them than it is for other Comic-Cons. A lot of the other Comic-Cons will have to guarantee the celebrities their pay. Mm-hmm. So, in other words, like take somebody for like Chris Sabat, for example. If he might say, hey, my guarantee is $25,000 for the weekend and hotel, airfare, food. So he gets there and he only makes 20 grand. Well, the con owes him $5,000.
Oh, okay.
So the con has to guarantee that he's going to leave there with 25 grand. So they just have to make up the difference.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of them know what guarantee they're going to make going in. All right. Well, San Diego has changed all of that. Now, if you're the artist, they're like, I'll offer you a free table because 250,000 people are going to be there. But you got to pay your own airfare and your own hotel and your own food.
So maybe like the smaller ones, quote unquote, are the ones that be able to like hook you up a little bit more, right?
Yeah. Yes, they do. Yeah, they do.
That's cool.
They really do. They're more appreciative too. The smaller towns. I mean, they're just so. It's like, wow, you're a star. It's like, oh, okay, that's fine. I'm fine with you. It feels weird to me. Like I said, still.
Do you get recognized in the streets?
No.
Well,
we're voice actors, so that's
what I was asking because you're a voice actor. Like maybe those hardcore fans, maybe sometimes very rare. No, no.
I've gotten recognized for my comedy.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Because I am. Which camera are we on right
with
there?
This right here.
I do have my Kid Wok tattoo. Right
Kid Wok.
If you look in the mirror, it says cow dick. Yeah.
Dude, Punchy was telling me about that yesterday about your intro. Back when you started with the intro, he was telling me about the whole thing with the Kid Wok. I was like, dude, there's no way. I was trying to get the song in here, but I couldn't get the song in there. He was telling me he had a whole song and everything. Dude, he has like a Paso song, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I do. He actually grew up by there, the street. Like he's near there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Dude.
What's the street?
Dyer.
Oh yeah, I grew up in the Northeast.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's a Creed parody. It's "Can you take me to Dyer?"
The lyrics he was saying at the show last night were fucking because he has a bassist.
No, he's just playing guitar.
Oh, just
I have a guitarist that goes up at the end with me and always plays that song. We've been doing it the last 20 years. Every year I come here. And just because it was a song I wrote for El Paso, I can't perform that anywhere else.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, if I did that, they'd be like, "What are you?
What's Dyer?" That's cool. I like
it's
that.
It's a good song, but I don't know where Dyer is.
That's awesome, so we're special in KidWok's eyes.
Yeah. Well, I recorded my first CD here. I recorded my first DVD here.
Okay.
Back
when
I
in
don't
the
know what
90s,
99. 98. I recorded my first CD. 2004, I recorded my first DVD here. So that's awesome. I don't know what my connection is here, but I've always had a connection. And then I'm good buddies with Buzz from KLAQ.
Definitely.
That's where I found the guitarist.
That's awesome.
As well. So
cool. And technically, you did live in another. Well, maybe we'll cut this out, but El Paso County, right? That's where you're at too.
What's that?
In Colorado?
In Colorado, yeah.
See, that's crazy.
El Paso County,
El Paso County.
El Paso County. When they said that, I was like, that's weird. That's odd.
When I heard the first time I heard that, I was like, what the hell, Paso? Like, well, I'm going from Paso to El Paso. Like, it tripped me out, but because we had some friends out there in Colorado Springs because of the military base.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we were out there for a while. So it was pretty cool.
You were military?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. My friends were. So we went to go visit them. So it's cool. It was a nice little drive out there. But I want to get back into the Dragon Ball thing. What's your connection with Dragon Ball? Like, do you remember the first time you ever hearing about it? Like,
it was on Spanish TV.
Okay.
And like I like what you said. I couldn't comprehend it. I'm like, what's going on? All right, there's a dude with a bunch of rays around him. Okay. Oh, now his hair changed. Okay, cool, dope. All right, I'm gonna put on Arthur.
And were you ever into like anime or cartoons, like anything like that?
I don't know if it was just the style that has never attracted me to it because I can't. My son likes anime, and they watch a lot of it, but I don't know if that wasn't the cool thing. It was like dubstep or whatever during the time. I didn't.
Maybe
it wasn't my thing, but
maybe
it's okay. People liked it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I remember I was probably like a 4th or 5th grader when I guess it was coming out. I'm just trying to see if Stretch is texting me on my bed. And I remember there was this little ice cream truck that would come through the neighborhood, right? And she would sell like everything, your chips, your ice cream, your drinks, your little snacks. And randomly she would have like trinkets, randomly. So I remember one time everybody, like all these kids like in the neighborhood were, hey, the cards, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what's going on? You know what I mean? So I was always on a tight leash. My grandma never let me do anything. If I wasn't in front of the house, like I couldn't hang out with my friends, right? So I remember my friends like, hey, they're getting Dragon Ball cards. I was like, what cards? He's like, Dragon Ball. I was like, what's that? Next thing you know, everybody had those little scenes from the cartoon, right? And like little packs. I was like, what the hell is that? I was like, whatever. A couple days later, the lady comes back, playing the ice cream music or whatever. Boom, bunch of kids. I'm like, what the hell? So I wanted to go because I had a couple bucks in my pocket. My grandma didn't let me. So I saw my friend Ivan, and he was a bad boy, right? He was always getting into some shit. So he's like, hey, you want me to go get you some? I'll go. I was like, yeah, go for it. So I gave him my $2 or whatever. That kid ran. I just see him run down the street. And I was like, all right, well, I'll just wait for him. Let's see if he comes back, right? He comes back, gives me my pack of cards. And now he's like, there's your Dragon Ball. I was like, cool. Like, open them, look at him, like, what the hell is this? Like, you know what I mean? I was like, whatever, put it in my pocket. Go to school. Everybody the next day is going crazy trading. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, what is this? Never knew what it was, but apparently everybody here, where we grew up, everybody spoke Spanish except for me. I didn't really speak too much Spanish like that. Like, I never watched Spanish shows. I was always watching Arthur or Rugrats or Hey Arnold or whatever was on PBS as well. PBS Nickelodeon was my thing. So I never knew what it was until I got older. But by then, everybody was already into it where I was like, I don't know what the hell's going on. So I was like, let me go sports-wise. Let me go do this. You know what I mean? So I was never really into it, but my friends were. And I had those little cards, but it was just like a thing to me. Like I knew it was similar to Pokemon, but I didn't know what the difference was.
If I was on Pokemon, I would have known to have stayed with it and been like, this is huge. Because I knew all the kids were playing it. My kids were playing Pokemon, so I would have stuck with it. Do you know what I mean? But they weren't into it. I was kind of like, I don't know what's going on. I didn't know anybody playing the card game. I didn't know. I guess if I would have known, kids were trading. Were they trading the cards and grabbing them? See what I'm saying? It wasn't a big thing in the town that it was freaking boisterous.
Exactly. So Digimon, Pokemon, Dragon Ball, all those like the trading cards, I never knew what it was. And
you still have them?
Dude, I had this pencil box full of original Pokemons, and I had it in my room for the longest time.
Oh, that's I remember the story. Yeah.
And then one time, maybe about 10, 15 years ago, I tried selling them, and nobody was like giving me good value. And I was like, well, I don't know what's worth. Like, I don't know what's whatever. I think my mom might have given away that whole box to like charity. Yeah. And now I'm like kicking myself like, damn, I should have just kept it. Like now, like I had a bunch of originals that they were just pristine condition. I never messed with them because I never played with them. So.
I know several people in the Comic-Con world who are making tons of money trading and buying and selling Pokemon cards. And I'm like, I have no idea. I mean, what would, you have to be really into it. You'd have to log it all. You'd have to be able to look at that. And I mean, they're to the point where they look at it and, like an Antique Roadshow. Oh, I like what you brought me. Oh, my gosh. Exactly. You realize there's not many of these. And this is a foil edition. I don't know if you guys know about this, but
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So now I kick myself thinking like, well, I should have just kept all those old cards, everything, and just kept it. I mean,
Well, I did the same thing with football cards
Oh,
when I was young.
yeah.
Football and baseball cards. I just gave the whole collection away because, after a while I didn't understand it. It wasn't really, I didn't have to collect them all. I didn't understand what I was even freaking collecting.
Same here.
I never understand that. Like why they accrue so much value over time. I don't
understand
that.
either, man.
That's crazy.
I have a whole freaking binder that my dad gave me, just mix of basketball cards, baseball cards, and football cards.
Don't give those Goodwill, bro.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna keep those. I have those, and I have actually like a small binder full of just Michael Jordan stuff. So I'm gonna keep those for sure.
Have you logged them? Have you checked and seen what?
No, that's the thing. I don't know where to check or
Okay,
like how
they
to check
have
them. You know what I mean?
computer programs that where you can just plug in the card.
Oh, no way.
Plug in the value, and they'll pull up a drop down menu. You just put a checkbox, and it'll catalog everything for you.
Oh no way. Oh,
Yeah,
look into that, man.
look for a trading card. It can either even be an app. They might be able to even scan it with a photo now. I mean, but back 10 years ago, my wife and I were able to catalog all of our comic books that way.
Oh,
so,
no way.
mean, they have it for trading cards as well.
That's cool. Speaking of comic books, I actually have the first edition of the newer Star Wars when they just got redone maybe about 10 years ago. I have like two of those brand new. The first edition, they're sealed up somewhere in my storage.
Yeah, I got rid of all of mine. So when you tell me that, I'm like, hey, bro, save some pussy for the rest of it.
Off that Star Wars shit. I like that.
Did I do that bit last night? I don't think I did.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
No, you didn't.
That's my latest
awesome.
kick. Is when anybody says or brags about anything nerdy, like, hey, bro. That's
a good one.
Pokemon with that.
like that, I
Whoa,
like that.
bro. Hey, save some pussy for the rest of it. It just breaks them
That's
out of
amazing.
that every time.
That's
And
awesome.
it used to be a phrase that people would use that I would say to guys that would come around with their shirts off, and I'd be like, oh man, dude's in more shape than me. So I'd be like, hey, bro, save some pussy for the rest of us. Let everybody know that, dude, just put your shirt on and be normal like the rest of us. You know what I mean? So,
sure.
But I flipped it around now.
Nice,
So,
I like
because
that.
at the Comic Cons, yeah, or anytime anybody's doing anything dorky and they think that, man, look how cool I am. I'm on my unicycle. Oh yeah, hey, bro, save some pussy for the rest of us.
That's
right?
awesome. I love that.
Lock up your girlfriends because this guy's out and about, man.
Dude, I don't know who said something last night about I don't know if it was Cohen. Jeff
Cohen,
Cohen?
Jeff,
I don't know if it was
Jeff.
somebody said something or Jibs. And I was like, hey, I yelled, I was like, hey, my girl's here, shut the fuck up, like chill, like she's about to jump on you too, like we're just making a joke, but yeah.
So you're heckling.
No, I wasn't heckling.
Okay.
There was a chola heckler, man. She wouldn't shut up. She was kind of
Those are the
annoying,
worst.
She was annoying, bro, but whatever. Jibs. I like when you call them on the Jibs.
Gibbs.
It's
It's
Gibbs.
spelled Gibbs. Come on,
I was laughing
nobody's reading it Jibs, bro.
That is true.
Now, I
That
wonder
is
if he
true.
gets upset. If he got upset, then that would be. But he doesn't.
Nah,
he never
he's
does.
cool. Nah, he's cool. He's a cool
He
guy.
knew that people were going to mispronounce it the whole time, and it makes
Nah,
him special.
He's a funny ass guy.
He's able to correct you to Andrea from Andrea without being a dick about it. And
I like that.
well, 'cause sometimes they would be like, "It's Andrea," if you mispronounce it, but he's not like it's Jibs.
Nah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
He's cool. He's a good people.
He does magic too.
Yeah, he still do the comagician stuff.
He didn't do it yesterday, but I heard that.
He still does it. He does it. It's a skill set. You're picking up skill sets, and I don't understand why people down stuff like Carrot Top or even me. I've gotten bullied by comedians since I started in the business back in '87.
Really?
Because I did voices on stage, and they like it. They like their purity of their comedy. These comics that can't do voices. Ironically, right, are the ones that are telling me that that's not. So I kept going that direction. I was like, oh,
They're trying to discredit it by making it seem like a gimmick or something.
yes. Then I'm doing flashy. Here's flashy car keys. You guys look. Yeah, the comedian was up here. Look, I got shiny things.
Okay.
Check it out. They drove all of the comedians that do prop comedy out of the business.
Really?
I mean, think about it. When's the last time
Yeah,
you've
I haven't seen.
Oh, yeah, you're
There's
right.
none.
There's none really.
They heckled Carrot Top to death, where everybody's so scared of being called Carrot Top. That's what you're scared of. You have the potential to make hundreds of thousands of dollars touring doing that. There's got to be another person out there doing prop shows like that could make $1 million, like Carrot Top, just touring the U.S. That is a genre of comedy that they killed.
Yeah. I was gonna say something about that.
They killed
like the whole hypnosis thing. Like that used to be a thing back when I was growing up. When I would go to comedy shows, like somebody's gonna do hypnotism or whatever on stage, and people would volunteer. And now I don't see anything like that.
There are
Like,
not as many of those.
I just realized that now that you bring that
anymore
up. Wow.
as well. So I mean, if you want to go into any of those instead of comedy, look, man, right there. So I mean,
Never know. You know, my boy Milo over, he's really good with voiceovers. He does a bunch of different voices and little voices that our boss trips out on. Like who was the one that we were just like tripping out on recently, bro?
I can't even remember.
But he loves when you do your little goat, when you do your sheep, or what is it?
Oh, that
yeah,
that
just
crap?
different things, and we mimic people. Like we'll imitate them, and it's like spot on with this guy. Like it's fucking insane. Like,
but it's hard for me to do like celebrities. I can only do people I know.
Yeah.
That's
well, hey, that's still
That's where
those are original voices. If you go into VA work, because you can say, yeah,
you're absolutely
there you go,
right. I never even thought of that. You're absolutely right.
There you go.
that is true.
Hey, bro, I stole your voice. Sorry.
right.
But if you want to watch it, go look at that.
Go. Here's a link, bro.
I'll be signing autographs at a Comic-Con because I did your voice, bro.
That's
so if
crazy
you want
to
to come
think about.
sit next to me and say, this is who I was doing.
So how did you
giving
get
you my 60,000?
That's true, right?
Yeah, right, okay.
Hey, royalty free, baby.
Right.
How did you get your start with like? How did you know you want to do voices and stuff like that? Like, how did you get your start
that
with
was just
voiceover?
that was just an open audition. I haven't done it since. There's no dopamine hits involved with me doing that. Otherwise, I'd move back.
Yeah, but like as a kid though, did you mimic people? Did you mess around with teachers?
That
Anything
was
like
what I did. The first
Yeah.
one I did, I think, was Mork and Mindy. So Robin Williams.
Oh, okay, cool.
From
Nice.
Mork and Mindy when I was like in third grade. It helped
Nice.
me get in, and along with the kids, I used to make all the kids around me laugh, and that kind of got me in as a new kid at school, different school every 3 years.
Okay.
I think because my dad was in the military, so that was just the thing.
Okay, cool. Were you ever like the troublemaker growing up? Nothing like that.
No, I'm straight A student.
Okay.
Usually board in school. Placed out of a lot of math and stuff. Went to University of Texas for 2.5 years, then dropped out and went to stand up. I wanted to do that. I was majoring in radio, television, and film editing, and I'm like, I feel better in front of the camera, and I'm gonna go do it how I want to do it. I'll
Nice.
find a way to make it work.
That's great that you did that. I mean, a lot of people, follow their dreams that way. As far as that goes.
Yeah, and when I look back on it, it was fucking crazy. Because I'm like, what was I thinking, man? All those lonely nights. But now I have the skill set, and I don't have to tour like the other comics do. I have the ability to work 1 or 2 weeks here and there, and then film something at those clubs, put it together, and already have an hour of material that I could pitch to, or that I could sell to Amazon Prime or to Peacock or one of those.
That's cool.
So I mean, I already have the skill set and the ability. I'm very thankful that I already have that. Otherwise, I'd have to try to tour like these up and coming comedians. I'd have to do Fridays, Saturdays, and
Trying to figure out the next. I get you. That's cool. Who were your, I guess, your comedic inspirations?
Eddie Murphy
Eddie Murphy.
was my main one. Eddie Murphy, Howie Mandel, and Bobcat Goldthwait.
Bob who?
Bobcat.
Hi, thank you very much. Where you from? What do you do for a living? You're Bobcat Goldthwait.
Wow, dude.
They sound just like him. That's crazy.
So you want to get into why they inspired you? Those three people?
Eddie
Or how?
Murphy was because I was going to Christian school at the time, and my parents wouldn't let me listen to Eddie Murphy, so I would stay up, and we had Showtime. I would turn the TV very low, turn the cable on, and
Nice.
just be in there watching it, and I'd watch it over and over and be like, I'd like to do that,
Heck yeah.
I thought I could do that. I don't know why. That's weird that you could just look at somebody who's doing it professionally and go, I could do that at that age 15.
Hey,
right?
if you know, you know.
And then, man, once I did it, I got the bug. I'm telling you, at 17, I don't know why I'm addicted to making strange people, I don't even know, laugh. Why am I addicted to that frequency of laughter Why is it such a dopamine hit that in LA I would go do 5 open mics in one night? I would get done doing one set over at the LA Improv, and then you'd head over across the way to Orange County, and you go do another 3 minute.
That's insane.
I'm driving across the 30 minutes to do 3 minutes at 5 different places throughout LA. You know,
It's a grind, man. You know,
but it was not a grind. It was
No.
a man. I got
just
Yeah.
let me get another next one. Wow.
So that's the addiction. So once you hit that where you're just like, wow, that felt good. I mean, you have all this laughter coming at you. It's different from where you guys are sitting in the audience than up on stage. I have the laugh. You guys are sitting within the laughter whenever everybody's laughing. I'm having the laughter shouted at me the whole time. So my rush is different than
The average person.
It's difficult to get to sleep after a show.
Really?
Because of my dopamine hits. I mean, last night I wasn't I didn't go to bed till like 4, I think.
Damn. You're just on that high, just
just buzzing. Yeah.
Nice.
From that.
That's
So,
cool. What about who's the
But
second
I
person?
never got that from doing voiceovers.
No?
Never.
Oh wow.
That's why I said so when you want to do comedy, you have the ability to have a lot of people help you. That's why you got to try. The second person you said was
That's the second group of people that tell me that recently too. My girlfriend told me that. She's like, "Hey, that's like the second person I just told you that." Like, within
yeah,
the last-
you're never too old to do comedy, and they're gonna help you. You know, one of the best advice that I can give, because I tried to be Eddie Murphy, I tried to be all of those people, and then I figured it out that the way that you tune into your audience, because I used to have a huge following here. I don't know why the show was so slow this week. And I told Rue, that's what happens when you take 6 years off in a market that you were big in, and you didn't keep touring. You just all of a sudden quit because you got depressed. I said, this is what happens. Look at the showroom. I said, I'll build it back up. But in my head, you have to have a frequency. So your frequency is your sense of humor. It's nobody else's. Your sense of humor is like a fingerprint, because you'll laugh at stuff that nobody else will laugh at, and they're like, I don't see how that's funny. Well, your job as a comedian is to show them how what you saw was funny is funny
for everybody else. Okay.
So you're up there just explaining that, so that they tune into your sense of humor. You don't write jokes from the opposite direction and say, I'm writing this because I think everyone else will think it's funny. Well, then you're just a sitcom writer. Or you're a different type of writer. A comedian will write, a true comedian will write for themselves that nobody else can perform, because only I know those feelings and the way that goes. Wow.
Definitely.
So that's me explaining my sense of humor. Then those people tune in and they're like, man, I'm a big fan. I've seen you say, I've had people this week that were like, man, I've been here since 2004 when you recorded your DVD at the other, and I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? So I mean, these people remember my act. Those are the people really tuned into my frequency.
Okay, and
that's how you gain fans. You get these other comedians who are writing just generically across the board, who are doing stuff about, what's inside the chicken nuggets, man? I mean, why are you eating chicken nuggets? Well, anybody can say that. Yeah. Or, we don't do that because Latinos don't do that. White people do this. Latinos do this. Anybody can do that. All right. So the key to it is to whatever you have, show them why you think it's funny. Like even my voices, I show them why I think it's funny if I do that voice. And, if I'm doing Trump, if I show them why it's funny, I show them how I do it. It's kind of like I'm doing one of those, how do you say it? One of those Penn and Teller shows where you're like, look, here's the voice, and here's where the voice comes from.
Nice. That's so crazy. You can just flip it like that. Like you just jump into it. That's so crazy. Man. I love that.
The little hand movement.
Yeah, the hand movement.
I got a picture of Trump's little hands.
Right.
Coming out of an Asian dude's face. Looks a little odd. I don't remember having beads on my chin. I might have had them. Some say it's true. It's true. Some say I have beads on my chin.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
It's true. It's been said. I don't know if it's true. I have them. All right, so
that's great. That's great. Before we leave, we're not leaving yet, but just before we leave, can
He
you
has to
go
say
down?
that. Sorry.
No. Can you do like the voices and the 7 characters you do from Dragon Ball, just so people know who the characters are?
Okay, 7.
If you don't
Let's
mind,
see if I can do all
or if
7.
you can, or as many as you can,
No, baby.
Dude, his business card is badass because it's like him, Dragon Ball form, and then like all of his voices and the characters are surrounding.
Really?
It's
That's cool.
sick, dude.
Okay,
It's
that's
sick.
why I have to get the card out. Because normally when I'm at a Comic-Con or whatever, or on stage, as you saw the other night, I only do 4 of them because they're the other characters people wouldn't recognize, and I'm like, why am I trying to show them the other?
Okay, no,
3?
just yeah.
But I mean, I pulled this out so I can do the other 3 for you. Does
Oh,
that
okay,
make
wonderful.
sense? Normally whenever I'm at a Comic-Con, I'll only do these 4, and then I'll do the last ones afterwards. But I'll show you the order I do the 4 in.
Okay.
Whenever people come up my table, I said I did 7 voices on Dragon Ball Z. These are the ones. I was the voice of Corey the cat who had the senzu beans, yeah. And then I was the Ox King up here who's got horns on his hat. He was Chi-Chi's father, Berter, fastest in the Dragon Ball Z universe. And the Grand Cat, strongest in the Dragon Ball Z universe. And that's what I do for them because they wouldn't know these other characters because they were only in 1 or 2 episodes. These ones, this one, and this one. So this one right here, he's more of just a voice like this that is kind of wise, and that was what I did his with. And then his was the hardest voice to do. It was the most straining on my voice, and it has little Samuel L. Jackson in it. Right. And then this guy right here was more of like a Austin Powers kind of punk rock kind of guy. So.
Dude, that's insane. I love
That's awesome,
That's
man.
great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And like the first 4, I was like, dude, they sound completely different.
They
Like
do
just so
sound
different.
so different. That's
Yeah.
that's what trips me out. Like when you said that guy does 600 voices. How the hell, like you do? How many voices can you do, like more or less?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I could do a lot of celebrity impressions. I say I can probably do over 300, but I'm just like a mimic.
Crazy, dude.
I'm just like a mimic. So when I hear something, I like to repeat it. Like you can ask him. Even sometimes I've gotten so bored with being able to mimic people's voices that I'll even sometimes mimic farts when people do it. So I'm like, and then so they'll do it, and they'll be like. And I'm like, hey, I didn't ask for this talent. It was given to me. This talent was given to me by God. I don't know what to do with it yet.
I half thought you were gonna replicate the fart with your fart.
That's when it'll
That'd be a skill. That'd be a fucking skill.
Yeah. Well, currently we're just doing overdubs of me farting over other people's farts. Mine sounds much better.
You sound way better.
We just mute theirs and we pull my butt up to the mic. It's not a very good smelling mic. Hey, you don't want to be in front of that mic. That's not the mic for that. It's not the speaking mic.
That's amazing.
I'm having like a visual of fucking Donald Trump's ass in front of a
microphone.
But he's doing the Ace Ventura fucking. All of a sudden his butt cheeks like, can I ask you a few questions?
That's terrible.
Or he's doing it in front
The wiener
of it.
stroking shit.
And then I'm overdubbing the fart.
Yeah. That's amazing.
In the mic.
That's insane.
All
That's
right.
insane.
Uh,
I have a personal question for you.
Yeah.
With the beads,
Yeah.
how often do you change them out? How hard is it to put it in
I
beads?
just put them in right before we came here. It's
No
only,
shit.
about 2 minutes for me to put them
oh,
in.
nice.
What?
You just string them over some dental floss, put a loop at the end, and just pull it through.
Oh.
And then a rubber band it at the end.
So
nice.
it's like your chin hair is this long, like your
Yeah.
beard is oh, cool.
Yeah, but whenever this is out, all the hairs are all, so this just keeps them all bunched in. In fact, my
That's
wife has
cool.
to remind me, hey, when I go out to put them up sometimes in hair ties so that they're all just not, because these hairs they'll behave. Like after I pull this out, they'll stay straight, but then you'll start getting stragglers throughout.
Oh, for sure.
And then some getting your food, and I'm like,
Yeah.
just rather not have it in the food and looking weird. So, but I've been doing it since 2003, and like I said, I had 2 or 3 to start out with. And now I go looking back at the videos and like, why did I stick with that? I'm glad I stuck with it. But wow, it looked really weird with 3 of them.
It's a cool, unique look. I like that.
Yeah.
It's very
For me,
different. I like
for
that.
me, that's why it's a signature kind of look.
And it goes with you too, because like it just didn't click until you brought it up right now. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. His beard has beads in it. Yeah, so it goes with you.
Oh,
I was just curious because I thought
I'm gonna have to tell him, hey, my eyes are up here, bro. My eyes
You're
are
gonna stop
here,
staring
bro.
at you fucking pervert.
I'm just looking at your beads and shit.
You goddamn perv.
I got a weird story about that. There was a guy who one time came to a comedy show, drove 5 hours to see the comedy show, and the manager was like, my brother drove 5 hours. I haven't seen him in 3 years. I told him you were performing here, and he drove 5 hours to the show. Dude, finally came into town, right? And, because she could get him free tickets, Yeah. So after the show, we're talking, and we're just like, hey, he's like, man, I'm a fan. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. We're just chatting, and I'm putting there's an empty ashtray on the table. At the time, smoking rooms. So I was taking my beads out and putting them in there. And we were all like, he's like, well, we're all going to breakfast. I said, yeah, I'll join you for breakfast. And I put the beads out. And then we get to breakfast. Lady says at the end of breakfast, hey, here's your tab. I'll take it, man. I'm going to pay for this, man, because I was so excited to see you. He gets up, pulls his wallet out. As he's pulling his wallet out, my beads fall out of his pocket.
What?
Onto the ground.
What the hell?
And we look at each other. It was like,
He got caught.
Busted.
And I was like, hey, thank you for. He was like, what? You were gonna throw them away?
You're like, no, I wasn't. I'm using
And
tomorrow.
I was like, oh yeah, okay, all right. Hey, thank you for dinner.
So you kept your beads.
It was just weird.
Yeah, it's really strange.
So that was kind of my first, I guess, brush with celebrity, and I didn't realize it. Sometimes I think the older I get, the more naive I am.
I mean,
about stuff like that.
Some people are weird though. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I had somebody call me on my business line the other day, and Jeremy heard it when we were in the hotel room. Just some kid from, where was he? From the UK? Yeah. Some 17-year-old from the UK.
What?
His buddy had gotten the number from somebody here. And
I got your phone number from my friend, brother.
yeah.
What?
Oh shit!
That's crazy, man.
Wow.
So yeah, it is.
Give me a like.
I have so many. I have a lot of autistic kids getting in touch with me on Facebook. Some of them daily. Hello, hey, how are you? The next day, each day. One day, hey. Next day, hello. I'll sometimes, oh, how are you? Oh, good. How's your day? Great. That's it. Never, nothing else.
That sounds like my DMs to girls.
That's how he hits on
That's how I
girls.
DM girls.
That's how he hits on girls.
That's how I hit on
Same way.
girls,
Hey, how are you? Hope you have a great day.
Which is better than Jeff Cohen's way, which is way.
Dude, Jeff Cohen's fucking insane, bro. He's fucking hilarious.
He
bro.
is hilarious.
You got to see him.
I brought him down with me from Colorado Springs. I met him at the World Series of Comedy.
Oh, no way.
He was one of the comics that made it to the top 100, and then he made it to the top 20, I think he did, or top 10. And then he didn't make the top 3, but I was like, man, I'm a fan of your style of writing.
Yeah, he's
the
hilarious.
way that you write is his key, and it's his sense of humor. That's what I'm saying. Look at him.
Yeah,
When you look
definitely.
at some of the comedians that you like, look at the ones that write with their sense of humor instead of what they think the audience is going to think is funny.
That's true.
And there is a difference.
Is he really autistic, or is it just part of his bit?
I mean, I could clearly see that he has a little bit of autism, what people call autism, OCD. I work with autistic kids all day at the Comic-Con Foundation. So, I mean, okay, I'm good. Just
I don't know whether to laugh or not, bro. What the fuck?
And you're holding you were doing a straight face.
we had to.
I'm like, what
like we were raising money for a
the shit, bro? That's insane, dog.
I was like, is he joking?
He said it was straight face, bro.
That was good, and that was good.
Fuck. That's amazing. I love that.
As soon as their comic comes on, it's like, oh fuck,
Bro, but I will say, Jeff Cohen, he's hilarious, man. He's got like a little dark humor that we would like, bro. Like
Yeah.
we saw him, or they showed up at Phoenix made an appearance at the shout out to Scenics.
Sweet, man.
Let me get into Friday real quick. Friday Scenics, shout out to Yesenia, shout out to Josh Ryan for hosting, shout out to Jeremy Stretch, Otis Hicks, Anthony Nelson Brown, who else was there? Gus Buzz was there, Christina Cobra, Paul was there, Javi, Jonathan Guzman, he got down. Dude,
Everybody was there,
a
huh?
killer lineup, dude, and then Mr. Wok himself showed up. Jeff showed up. Who else showed up? Was it just you two, or I feel like there was a third person?
Me and Jeff Cohen and Jibs.
Jibs showed up. Yeah, that's
that's
third
cool,
one. Jibs,
man.
bro. They all showed up, did a little set, did their thing, and then we were just mingling, bro. Like we're just saying our farewells to Scenics. Amazing food. Today's their last brunch, but yeah, they're gonna be open till the 31st. Shout out to Yesenia. Like I said, Josh, they got down. It was just a plethora of local comics. This cat from Las Cruces, I think his name is Jose Hernandez. I'm not too sure. Killer, bro. Like he was insanely funny. I want to reach out to him, have him on here. Farewell to the Craft and Social one as well. That one was another show that night on Friday. But it was just great. I mean, the vibes. People were doing karaoke afterwards.
That's awesome, man.
I mean, you saw the videos.
Yeah, I saw the video. That's all I could do because I was sick in bed, lying down, just like miserable.
No, but it was great. I mean, for you guys to even show up, how did you guys hear about the closing of it, or you just kind of like?
Last time I was in town, we went to Scenics.
Okay, cool.
And I have a buddy with me who went and did the open mic there. He really liked it, and I think I did. I did time there too. So I mean, I don't mind. I enjoy going up on smaller open mic things for some reason.
How does that make you feel? Yeah, how does that make you feel? Like
I started out,
like where you at now? Like, do you feel like more love from a smaller crowd, or like usually?
More intimate crowds. I just enjoy it more intimate as far as in a I don't know how I would. I wanted to be like Eddie Murphy to perform in front of those 10,000 people. I don't know if I would enjoy that.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't seem like what I would enjoy. I don't know. How I've known comedy to be performed. That's why even if I film a special, it's always going to be done in a club. I don't think I want to rent a theater out. And, comedy was not meant to be done in a theater, if you ask me. I mean, it's meant to be done with people having drinks to their table.
Yeah.
Eating nachos.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. It's like a movie experience. It's not meant to be theater seating where, hey, I'm going to go get a drink. All right, well, I got to get up, go to the front, go buy something in the lobby, come back with my drink. Excuse me.
That's true. That is true.
It's just not, that's not the type of experience.
Is that distracting when you're on stage? Like let's say like people just getting up like that?
As far as in a theater, I would think that it would be because, you have to just get used to looking past that because when you're performing in a theater, you can't talk to anybody. Like last night, where you were the Zipper Show?
Yeah, the Zipper Show.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, so I'm 5 minutes into my show. About 5 minutes in, and some girl goes, "Your zipper's down."
Fuck.
No, I'm sorry. It was a kid. It was a kid. But like in the 20s, so then the voice was pretty high. So it's like, "Your zipper's down," and I was like, "Oh my God!" And I was like, "You know what? You are a friend. You are a true friend." And all these fuckers who let me go for 5 minutes with a booger hanging out of my nose, and nobody told me. I'm watching you guys. I don't trust any of you guys now. All right, this is the only person in the room I trust.
It was insane, man. It was fun.
That's awesome, man.
And that's what I was telling him.
I've been doing comedy since '87,
and it's never happened to you.
No.
Dang.
That's the funniest part. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then later on, he had some jokes, along the lines. He's like, "Oh, if you would have told me this, that this time the joke wouldn't have worked. It was fucking perfect, dude. Like it was insane.
Oh yeah,
it was insane.
So it's known as the Zipper Show now.
The Zipper Show, and that's what he said.
I said, from now, anytime anybody approaches me, say, "Hey man, I saw you in El Paso. I was at the Zipper Show."
So I was part of that. I'm glad to be been a part of that.
Part of history.
All right, man. All right, Zipper Show.
And that's what I was telling about like concerts. I was telling dude, like I prefer going to a smaller venue, more intimate than a big arena. Like I hate big arena shows just because it just doesn't feel personable to me. Like, it just feels like you're just watching it from home. You know what I mean? Like
watching
that's what I mean. I'd have to have screens on either side, right? Yeah. And then what would they have done? They would have just been filming me from here up, right? Mm-hmm. And then the person in the front row says your zipper's down.
Yeah, and
they wouldn't have zoomed out. I mean, how would that none of that would ever happen?
Exactly.
Stuff like that doesn't happen.
It's true. That is
absolutely right.
In a big arena show. I mean, I watch Matt Rife, and it just doesn't seem like the same experience whenever I see him in these big arena shows with his,
The little
fast food mic.
Yeah, like the trucker microphone with the little thing up here.
What was he gaming?
I don't know.
Gaming at the same time.
Those things,
Hey, you
those
guys.
microphones are weird. Yeah, I feel like he's live streaming. That's what it
Live
that's what-
stream,
that's what it
yes,
feels like
yes.
sometimes.
Live stream TED Talk kind of, but he's trying to do that theater in the theater, talking to people. I mean, so there's somebody way up there that's gonna have to go. What?
Yeah,
He said something about that lady way down. That doesn't.
yeah. It's weird to me too. Yeah,
People
I
are
feel
still doing it though. They're still
mean,
going for it.
If
But
it works for him, I
he
guess.
could probably sell out of course he could sell out every comedy club every night doing that. But I mean, I would rather sell it out at the comedy club
For sure.
instead of some of these theaters. That's why I said stuff like that. You just can't. You have to only just perform your jokes. And I like being able to go AD, HD, and talk to everybody.
To go out for any little tangents and stuff.
Mhm.
That's what we do here. It's pretty much one and the same. I feel like
It's usually way more chaotic. I don't know what happened today. Oh wait, are the other guys in here?
maybe. No. It's all good though. It happens. Before we dip out, I have a question for you. If you could go back to your 15-year-old self and tell him anything, what would it be?
How many words do I have? As many as I want, or just like 3 words?
Whatever you want.
All
Anything
right.
you want to say to the 15-year-old Mark?
I would say Dragon Ball Bitcoin.
Dragon Ball Bitcoin.
That's all I would
Hey.
say. And I would be, as a 15-year-old kid, I'd be like, well, what was he talking about? And later on, I'd be looking out and going, wait a minute. I just did voices for Dragon Ball. I might as well stay with this.
Okay,
And
that's
then
cool.
Bitcoin, I found out about it in 2011.
Yeah.
And I was not smart enough to buy $100 worth. That would have been worth right now 1.5 million. They say
That's insane, right? Yeah.
$100 worth of you to just bought in 2011. And he could have just held that. But I mean, who would have known?
Yeah, would've
But I
known.
mean, if I would have known that, then at 2011, my 15-year-old self would have said, "Hey, Bitcoin."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I remember 2 things.
Dragon Ball and
Dragon
Bitcoin.
Ball.
Yes,
That's
Then I
smart.
could've said,
That's smart as hell.
I'd have bought this, and because
Yeah.
normally online they say, "Hey, in 3 words, what would you tell your younger self?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, Dragon Ball Bitcoin." What?
That's smart. That's smart as
Dragon
hell.
Ball.
I fuck with that. So do you remember back in the day when that dude ordered like Papa John's or Domino's with Bitcoin? He paid like 10 Bitcoin for it.
Oh yeah.
And it's going down as technically like one of the most expensive transactions ever. I mean,
What
if you
was
compute
the
it now,
one
if
that
you compute it now.
I think that they gave Joe Rogan like a drive with like 1,000 Bitcoins on it back in 2011 or 2009 when he started his. Maybe I can ask how many Bitcoins are given to Joe Rogan.
What? I never heard about that one. That's
Okay.
crazy.
That's wild.
And he lost the drive.
Oh my god.
goodness.
He just set it aside. It was like, yeah, guys, thanks, whatever.
I don't know if I could live with myself.
Like
I
that
really
dude
don't know.
that there's this dude that has I think a few coins on there worth millions and
Yeah, he has-
millions.
he has
I
like
don't know if
hundreds
it's
of
billions,
millions,
yeah.
no? Hundreds of
Hundreds of millions, and he has like one password left. Try left. If he doesn't, it's gonna be pretty
After I heard that story, I was like, dude, I'm gonna getting my key tattooed on my body, man, somewhere like nobody
Yeah.
could see it, like so I never lose my key.
yeah. Because
You
once
know,
you lose
your
it, you're
key,
done.
they say, as far as you don't own the Bitcoin unless you have it on one of the hard cold wallets that you hold in your hand, that you can plug into your computer or whatever. Then they give you a 24-word phrase, and that
Yeah.
phrase has to be written down. You're not supposed to type it anywhere. You're not supposed to engrave it anywhere. You're not supposed to do anything with it but write it down and have that copy. That's the only way that you're supposed to have it. You're not supposed to put it in a security deposit box. I'm like,
What the hell? So many rules.
How do they know? How would they know?
Because if I get that piece of paper, if I get those 24 words, I can open your wallet and spend all of your money.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But I mean, so if that's online on Google Drive, Google Drive got hacked, you guys.
Oh, that makes
Hey,
sense.
okay.
I wonder what these 24 words are.
Yeah.
Hey, what has 24 words?
That's why I'd say I put it right here on my leg.
It's got to be a seed. Yes. Exactly. Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea at all.
Okay. It said, Joe, okay, the amount received. No, the time received the Bitcoins. Yes. At the time he received the Bitcoin, the price was much lower, around $8.29 per, but it was only 5 point for Bitcoin. So
But still,
it's worth over 500,000 now.
That's good right there. Just a gift. I mean, from anybody, it's a $500.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Gift.
That's wild.
Crazy. Did you want to say anything else before we dip out? Anything off your chest?
No, I did have a question for you. What's your top favorite venue to perform at
In the U.S.?
In the U.S.
In the U.S., this would be one of them. Bart
Really?
has always run a great room. He's been open, 38 years
I believe so.
This year. And he's the longest running and longest standing comedy club in Texas.
Wow.
Nice.
I've been coming here since 90.
Wow.
And I just love the crowds. They're the most, I always say El Paso has the most nice and generous people, but the shittiest drivers.
We can attest to that.
I concur. I concur.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Fuck, man.
it's okay. It's okay. I'm well over the age of road rage, so I don't road rage. I'm just like, oh, okay. Apparently, you want in that lane.
Dumbass drivers.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, no signal. Okay.
Yeah, no signal. All right, thank
No
you.
lights. Okay.
Yeah.
People are
No
crazy.
door. All right.
Did you have anything else you want to say before we leave?
No, I have a special coming out on January 6th, which was, of course, the worst day in the U.S. history.
Yep.
Worse than 9/11.
Yep.
Worse than... It was worse than 9/11. It was worse than Pearl Harbor. They say, that's what they say, it's true. It's not true that it was worse. It's true that they say it. All right.
That's awesome. January 6th, where can they
January
find that?
6th, and you'll remember where you were. Unlike the real January 6th. I think it was pooping. I don't know. when I read it on Twitter at the time, right? I mean, it was like, Twitter. Oh, hey, son, they're just walking around the Capitol.
Some two at the Buffalo Head.
Yeah.
All right.
I remember where I was. It was so tragic. So hopefully it'll be a day to remember in laughter.
For sure.
A day that will live in laughter. Okay.
We'll definitely plug it. We'll promote it on our socials and all that. But yeah, that's great. Anything else you want to say before we leave?
No, thank you for having me.
Anything? No, it's a pleasure. Thank you for agreeing to be on. Especially in our drunken ways that Friday night. Do you have a social media you want to plug where the people can find you?
You can find me at. You can go to my website KidWok.com. Usually it has my schedule. I haven't updated it, but that's where you can find where my socials are. You can type in KidWok KID into any search engine, and I'm most likely the only one that pops up. You'll be able to find all my socials. Don't type in cow dick.
That's awesome. So whenever we end
I
our
haven't
show,
tried that. I might try that in a moment.
cow dick. I like
Cow dick.
That's a good one.
To see if anybody is doing it.
You never know. So we like to end our show off with like a closer question. My question is gonna be: if you had 24 hours to live, what would your perfect day be from start to finish? And it could be as sad as you want, as happy as you want, as detailed as you want. Some people have been morbid with it, and some people just say, "Fuck, I'm just gonna go do whatever, family, whatever." 24. You know you're gonna die. 24 hours to live. You have a whole day ahead of you.
I'd probably just spend it with family and my dog.
Nice.
Weirdly enough, that's the most comforting thing to me.
What kind of dog do you have?
When I'm around family? We've got a dog at a Comic-Con that was a mix between. Have you seen those hairless crested Chinese dogs? The ones that don't have any hair, that have like a tuft coming out of their head.
Oh, yes. I've seen those, yeah.
Well, they have another version of them that has, and they call them hairless because their fur is not really fur; it's actually hair.
Oh wow!
So it doesn't. I mean, when you pet it, it feels like hair. It doesn't. In fact, we got that dog. It's a cross between that and a Chihuahua, but we got it, and now it has longer hair right here. So this is it right here, right here.
Oh, nice.
That's him.
Oh, dude.
What's his name?
Right, his name's Noodle. That was one of the reasons we got him as well. I mean, an Asian guy with a dog named Noodle.
That's awesome.
I don't want to say it, but
Oh yeah, well I'm going to go eat noodle now. We'll see you later. What? No, I mean I wear half far. What do you think I will eat? My dog? No, I just said I have noodle later.
That's hilarious, bro. I love that. Noodle.
So we adopted him from a petting zoo at a Comic-Con.
That's
I
crazy.
I know. I was interviewing the lady, and she goes, "Any animal in here is up for adoption." And the llamas. She said, "Yeah." The lemur is up for adoption. Yes. Anything that you see in the pen. And I was like, "That dog." I said, "I want that dog." My wife was like, "What?" I said, "I don't know. We're taking that dog home."
Nice.
Been the best dog ever.
Little
Leashless, walks right next to us out on the sidewalk, leashless.
That's awesome.
So I mean,
Shout out to Noodle, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we can leave the front door open, and he won't go out the front door. He'll look when people come by. He hears everything, man. You see them big ears, these big.
Oh,
ass
definitely.
ears?
Dude, I had a dog and he
Ears,
looks just like this.
Everything. It's almost Yoda-ish.
Yeah, they got those bionic ears. That's awesome. 24 hours. That's great. Milo,
Yeah.
anything else?
But he's very satisfactory to pet because he's just hair. So it just feels like
You're petting your nephew. You're petting your nephew.
Yeah, it's like this is I mean, I know you might like it. But this is not, I had a fluffy dog before that. That was what you just sink your fingers into the fur and just be like, "Wow, I like doing this. This is fun." And he was like, "Yeah, keep doing that."
And the
this
floof.
this one's like, "Hey, pet me," and it's like, "It's not really petting. It's kind of just rubbing somebody's head." But okay,
That's funny. Milo? Any closer questions?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I'm dying here. I do.
Yeah.
Last meal. You're on death row. You have to pick your last meal. What would it be?
My last meal.
Noodle.
Because he's Asian?
Yeah, no, it's because I want to take him with me. I'm not leaving him here for you to take care of.
Exactly,
That
bro.
time it's the actual noodle, dog. I'm not leaving him here for nobody else. Probably would just be a steak. I'm a carnivore. I like meat. So it'd probably just be, hey, give me that Wagyu beef.
Oof.
So that stuff is like $70 a pound. I saw it at an Asian place. I told my son, I said, we should just get one and just me, you, and mom split it and see what
the
tastes like. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we know how to cook it, but I mean, $70. What's the big deal? Could I taste the difference?
I don't know.
Maybe we should have it with another steak so that we could.
Taste test. Compare and contrast.
Because we get ours from currently a grass-fed beef place
out there in Colorado.
That makes sure that if you buy one item, you get your ground beef as many pounds as you want for $3.99 a pound. That's cheap. There.
That's cheap.
Yes. But
For
I
that
mean,
fresh
that's
stuff, yeah.
grass-fed.
Yeah, the fresh, the good
So
stuff.
I'm just
That's the good
I'll
stuff,
get
too.
40 pounds at a time. I'm like, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
We have to go visit you soon.
And it tastes great. The tacos taste better. The spaghetti tastes better. Anything you cook with that meat tastes
That's
better.
awesome. How do you like your steak cooked?
Medium rare.
Medium rare.
Yeah, it has to be medium rare.
Medium rare Wagyu. Okay.
Yeah.
Socials? Anything you want to plug before you dip?
It's
Socials,
nine.
your sisters?
My sister's page. It's 915 Vintage Bitch. Please check it out. She has great stuff. She has body butters, lotions, fucking rose water, a bunch of stuff. Check it out.
Nice. Yeah, follow us. Follow me, Ray.Ruckus. Follow the show, Monroe.show. Make sure you guys tune on YouTube, which, like I said, we're still trying to convert everybody from Apple and Spotify over to YouTube just because it's the first, year was all audio, but we're over on video now. We're going to be doing some exclusive stuff on video on YouTube, so make sure you guys keep that out. Anything else you want to say?
All right. No, that's it.
All right.
We'll see you on January 6th
See you on January 6th. Peace.
Deuces.
for the comedy insurrection.
Yes, sir.